Ma'am, can we start, ma'am?
Yes, you can start.
Yes, ma'am. I quote, "Success is never final, failure is never fatal. It is courage that counts." I unquote. A very warm welcome to one and all present here. It's an immense pleasure to welcome you all. All good things start with a prayer. May I request Miss Nihaya from 2nd Become General to recite few verses from the Holy Quran?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful. Praise be to the Almighty, Lord of the worlds, the gracious, the merciful, Master of the day of judgment. Thee alone do we worship, and Thee alone do we beseech for help. Guide us on the right path, the path of those on whom Thou hast bestowed Thy blessings, nor of those who have incurred Thy displeasure, nor of those who have gone astray. Amen.
Thank you, Miss Nihaya. Now I request Miss Meenakshi from 3rd Become ANF to deliver the welcome address.
I quote, "Small cheer and great welcome makes a merry feast." I unquote. I'm extremely overwhelmed to get this opportunity to welcome you all on this occasion of National Education Day 2021, organized by Department of Commerce. I also extend a warm welcome to our beloved principal, Dr. Mrs. Shahnaz Ahmed, Vice Principal, Dr. Firdaus Jahan, Dr. Hamidun Nisa, Associate Professor, Head of the Department, Department of Commerce, beloved faculty, and my dear students. We have an eminent and dynamic personality amidst us. And it is a great pleasure to welcome our guest speaker, Ms. C.A. Kavita Umapati, FCA, MCom, MPhil, MBA, RV, Chartered Accountant, Preparator, KU and Associates. Ms. Kavita is a commerce graduate from Chalamal Women's College, Chennai. She has passed Chartered Accountancy and awarded in Masters in Philosophy, Commerce from Madras University. She has qualified UGC examination for lectureship. Qualified registered valuers exam conducted by IBBI on asset class, securities and financial assets. She is having a wide professional exposure in audit and taxation. Ms. Kavita has served as an accounts manager in Lawn Named Corporate Service Private Limited, Chennai. She has served as a consultant in ICMC Corporation Limited, Buddy. And she is a partner in R. Janaki Raman and Co. Chartered Accountants firm in Chennai from 2015 to June 2021. Now she has started her own firm KU and Associates since March 2021. She has conducted certified course on e-commerce which includes online share trading. Faculty in Institute of Chartered Accountancy of India, Chennai. She has published articles in peer-reviewed journals. She is a resource person for guest lectures in colleges and training candidates appearing for NET exams. Faculty for certified course on GST for various colleges in Chennai. It is a great pleasure to welcome you, ma'am. Once again, I extend a warm welcome to one and all who's present here. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Meenakshi. Education imparted by heart can bring revolution in the society. These are the words which are said by Maulana Abul Kalam Azad. When India celebrates National Education Day every year, let us commemorate the birth anniversary of legendary freedom fighter, a renowned scholar, first educational minister of independent India, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad. On this occasion, To celebrate the National Education Day, I welcome you all on the topic of GST. May I now request our chief guest, Mrs. Kavita Umapati ma'am, to enlighten us on the topic of GST.
Yeah. So happy morning to one and all present here. It's a it's on a very special day we have gathered here virtually to celebrate the birthday of Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, the first Minister of Education in the Indian government, which has been celebrated as a National Education Day. And I would like to thank the college management for giving me an opportunity to address you all on this special day on the topic of GST. I feel privileged to be a part of this celebration. Fine. Now, let us get into the topic of GST. Just give me a moment, I'll share my PPT. Fine. As we take GST, a goods and service tax, a very, as I can say, it is a vital reform in the tax in the during the year. Okay, in 2017. Fine. So if we classify, like see, if it is GST is the wide. If it will not take like you see, just I have given one hour to deliver about GST, but it's a very broad area. So what I decided was, I just like to share only a few important aspects like a general thing and what are things which we are going to cover on this next 1 hour. That agenda for this 1 hour would be this. First, I'll be going through the overview and concepts of GST. That is basic things about GST, the basic introduction, why there is a necessity of GST, all those things, and that support how the GST system is working on. Then we'll get through to the topic like registration, accounts and records, returns, refund, assessment and audit. See, these are the very, very important and practical things which we will be required to know in the context of GST. So, as in this 1 hour, we cannot go through entire GST, but I'm sure like I'll be giving a small insights about all these topics. Not a deep knowledge, but at least a practical knowledge on how to go through. Fine. Good. Now, let's get into the topic. See, we have like in India, the tax system is always dual. We have like indirect system, direct taxes, as well as indirect taxes. As we all know, the income tax is a direct tax where a citizen directly pays tax to the government. There won't be any middleman here. He'll be paying the income on the income he earned. He'll be paying tax to the government directly. But what about the indirect tax? So indirect tax is not like direct tax because when we pay the tax, it is not directly paid. We will be paying through the business person. Probably you go and buy a laptop or a mobile in a shop. Fine. So you'll be getting a bill for that. The bill may have the bifurcation, the basic price and the tax portion. But when somebody asks what's the price of the laptop, what you will say? Or the mobile, you will say only you will not bifurcate, right? You will say it's the price is including tax only, we will say, because that is the cost you have incurred. So in general, the tax amount which is collected in indirect tax will be hidden. It will not be directly shown to you. It will not be direct pinch, you may not know. That will be included in the price of the product which you purchase. Fine. So that is why, and the tax you are not directly limiting, it is to the business person. The person who is the seller will be collecting the tax from you and he will be remitting to the government. So that is why it is called as indirect tax. See, before introduction of GST, we have a lot of taxes. It was very like we have an excise duty, service tax, VAT, customs duty, all those things. But the government wanted it to integrate to a one single tax so that the compliances will be lesser and the businessman will not feel that pinch that is getting a lot of compliances which has to be reduced. That burden has to be reduced. So that is why almost the 20 to 25 taxes which have been integrated into a single GST. Okay. So when it is introduced, so hope all of you have an awareness about GST. I just need confirm that I need the session to be interactive. Okay, so I'm just asking you, like, anybody can know maybe if I have. Can anybody tell me what is the date of introduction of GST? Yeah, I want answers from the student side. Like, see, I let the session be interactive, so you can use your chat box so that I'll be knowing whether I just need your participation. So that session will be interactive. You will not feel good. Yeah, very good. Harita has answered. It is 1st July 2017. Good, good, good. Thank you. Yeah. So GST is introduced. See, it has been long pending process. Almost the processing time it took was 20 years plus. Almost in early 90s, 98 or 99, they have planned to implement GST, but it has taken a long journey to introduce itself. As an act, in the form of act, it has to bring it as jumped over a lot of hurdles. If you see, GST being it is a one indirect tax for the entire country. So, as I told you, a lot of service tax, excise duty, VAT, like so many taxes which has been integrated into one tax. That's why there is a slogan, right? When they introduce GST, it is one tax, one nation, and one market. And it is these are all the important features of the GST. If you say it is a multi-stage destination based tax. See, in the sense, like every product will be taxed at each and every stage. For example, if you having a mobile in your hand, right? Have you ever thought of how this mobile has reached you, the supply chain of the mobile? Can anyone have you ever so usually how you are having a mobile and you are attending the class, right? Maybe a laptop, some may attending a laptop. So have you ever come across how it has reached from the manufacturing to the point of consumer that you are using it as an end user, right? Can you anyone just message or tell me like how it reached you? Probably from the manufacturer to a dealer.
From intermediate middlemen, ma'am,
Exactly,
like
yeah.
retailers.
Super. Yeah. Very good. So it is two intermediate middlemen. So from the manufacturer through the agencies. Our agencies are some of the dealers who is dealing with mobile, or some might have ordered in the online shopping also. Again, there will be a middle people who will be transferring. So at every stage, see, whenever there is a transfer of goods for the price, then definitely GST is applicable under that. For example, when the manufacturer is delivering it to a dealer or an agent, there again, when he is raising an invoice or a bill, there will be a component of GST. And from there to from the retailer, and then the dealer selling to the retailer, again he will raise an invoice which consists of a GST. So the same product is taxed at multi-stage. That is why it is called as multi-staged and destination based. So what is this destination? The destination is the person where it reaches the buyer, the state. See, for example, if you take a country, there will be a clash always. There is, because since India is following a federal government system, both central government and state government are actively involved in the taxes. If you take our constitution, in our articles, it says that some of the taxes are levied by the central government, some of the taxes are levied by the state government, and some taxes are dual nature. So if it is completely to the central government, fine. Completely to the state government, no problem. But when it comes to dual, like when it involves two states, then it is problem. Before that, like or the excise duty or a VAT, it is purely based on origin based. But GST is a destination based. So what is the basic meaning of this destination based? If you are the product traveling within a state, not a problem at all, because see it comes with a revenue where the revenue will get shared. Okay, because you know that the government major revenue of the government is GST. So what will be the state government share? Can you tell me? Can anyone confirm what is the state government share in the GST? What it is called as the name that share will go to the state government. The GST that collected in the state government. So there is we have three taxes. CGST. So can anyone?
SGST, ma'am.
Yeah, SGST. It is state goods and service tax. So whatever then the bill, if you see SGST, that means that money, that revenue will be belong to the concerned state government. Okay. So this is what. So if now we come to the point of destination based. See, when there is IGST, you know that TGST means it purely goes to the central government, central goods and service tax. So the revenue that is being billed and collected will be given to the central government. Then SGST is state government, where the any revenue which is collected in the state government will be given to the state government. Now you have any idea about IGST? IGST is what? Integrated goods and service tax. So can you anyone confirm what will happen to this IGST? Who will take this money? Whether central government or state government? Just give it a try, yeah. It's only two options: A, B, CG or B, SG. That's all. I need a reply. Maybe you can use a chat box or.
TGST, ma'am.
Central government, ma'am. Central government.
So you are telling central government. Anybody having any votes for SGST?
Ma'am, since it is an integrated tax,
Yeah.
it will be shared by both the state and central government, ma'am.
Superb. Shanmuga Priya. Great. Nice. Good. So, yeah, good thought. It is actually IGST has to be shared by both central government as well as state government, since IGST is for the two states. It is between two states. So, one state, the buyer will be in from one state and the seller will be in another state. Then only IGST will come into the point. So, now at this point, the one, as you rightly said, confirmed, it is to be shared by both. So 50% goes to the central government and 50% is taken by the state government. There is no doubt. Now you tell me which state government that has to be taken, a buyer state or the seller state. It will be shared by both. Yeah. So now the point is, so there are two states I told you. Maybe I am from Chennai. I am buying a laptop from a Bangalore. Okay. So it's a Karnataka and Tamil Nadu state. So the seller will be giving me an IGST bill. So in that IGST bill, 50% revenue goes to the central government, confirmed. And 50% to which state government? To the Tamil Nadu or Karnataka? Yeah, any guess? That's why I give an example so that you can answer. Yeah. Tamil Nadu, very good. George Muller, super, fine, good. So that's a perfect answer. Actually, it will be, that is why it is called as destination based. So destination based means where the product reaches. That will be the tax point. So that revenue will be taken by the Tamil Nadu government. Since the buyer is in Tamil Nadu, Chennai, so that revenue will also goes to that particular government. So previously, before GST, this VAT and all is an origin based. CST, we have central sales tax, right? That is an origin based tax, whereas the GST is an destination based tax. And it removes the cascading effect. Why there is a cascading effect? Because being it's a multi-stage tax, I told you, from the manufacturer to the wholesaler, wholesaler to the retailer, retailer to the consumer, same product being taxed at each and every stage. So, but if then there shouldn't be a tax on tax impact. So that is why the cascading effect is like there should not be a tax on tax. So which is being taken care by a concept called ITC, input tax credit, which will take care of the cascading effect. That's to ensure that there will be no cascading effect on the taxes. Since the taxes are integrated, there won't be a cascading effect. And it is mainly technologically driven. Yes, we need at least a mobile or the internet connection with the system in order to file the return. Right? Otherwise, you cannot, like, it's not like manual return where you take a printout, fill it up in the pages and submit to the department. It is purely through online form. So everything is submitted via GST portal. So these are all the key features of the GST. Right? Hope you have an idea about the GST introduction. Fine. So what is the need in order to bring a uniformity in tax law? So as that's why they say one nation, one law. So when there is a states in between states, that there will be a difference. When we have a practice in the sales tax are bad, lot of tax rates are different. So that is why people will try to go to other state and buy the product and sell it. So that should be that. So there is no uniform growth in all the states. So that is why they want to bring an uniformity in tax laws across the country. Even though the SGST, that State Goods and Service Tax Act, every state have separately, the rules and regulations are as same. Only the state, instead of Tamil Nadu state, they have a Kerala state. That's all. Other things are the same. There is not much of differences. And to eliminate cascading effect and to ensure transparency, being technologically driven, so everybody can know all the things. So that makes a transparency in compliances. So we have the prime model of being an India being a federal country. We have central GST, state GST, as well as dual GST. So as I have given the example, central CGST completely levied by the central government, SGST levied by the state government, whereas dual GST, which is called as IGST, will be levied by the both central and state. Okay. So this is what are the previous taxes which have been submerged in CGST, which have been merged in SGST, and which have been merged in IGST. Some of the examples which I have given. Right. So prime model, this is what within the state, if you sell, that's what I have explained. That's again, this slide shows the same. Fine. So what is the key feature of Indian GST model? So if you are a registered person, everybody will have the GST number, which is called as Goods and Service Taxpayer Unique Identification Number. So what is the component of the number? Okay, have you ever seen any bill, maybe a hotel bill or any bill having a registration number of GST? Can you quote like how it will start? Have you ever come across, have you observed any bills of GST bill? Like if you purchase something, maybe in a supermarket you go and purchase, that bill will consist of what are the things it will consist of? Can you tell? Just if you can message it, that will be helpful. What the bill will basically consist of? No idea. So it will have a seller's GST number. If the buyer is also a registered person, then it is important to mention the GST number of the buyer also. So there will be a state code, which will give you every state has its unique code. Tamil Nadu has 33. 33 will be the state code of Tamil Nadu. So when you are registered in Tamil Nadu, your GST number starts with 33, and your PAN number, the person who is registering, his PAN number will be appearing there. Then entity code is like how many registrations he has. Then blank, there will be blank digit, it may be any number, and last digit will be the check digit. So usually it will be a 15-digit unique number, which will be allotted to the taxpayer. Okay, so which the first 2 digits will be state code, next 10 will be PAN. So you can identify by seeing the registration number which state it belongs to. So if it starts with 33, they have been registered with the Tamil Nadu. Okay. So this is the first thing. So as you join the college, definitely you'll be having a registration number, right? Which will be given in the first semester exam before first semester. So that number only you have to quote in all the exams in order to get your results or whatever you want to communicate. You will be quoting that number. That shows that you are a registered student of that particular college or this university, Madras University probably. Similarly, as a registered person, if you are registered under this GST Act, you will be given a unique registration number, which is called as GST number. Right? So that will be the first thing. So first thing you have to get is the GST registration number. Then only whenever you pay GST, you are supposed to quote that GST number along with your payment. That will be credited to your account. So you will be opening a separate account, which will be maintained in the portal. So you will be given a login password along with the GST number, right? Then This what is this GSTN? It is a special company which is a goods and service tax network company. Okay, so it has it's predominantly a private limited company. Okay, where 14 only the 49% of the shares is held by the government and balance is taken care. So what is this GSTN will do? You know, right? I told you it is technologically driven. So if for technological thing, like they need a internet portal. See, for example, when you want to apply for an exam, you will pay the fee, but anyway, there will be an Madras University registration website. Maybe you are studying in a college, you will not have directly register. Maybe your teachers will be taking care of that. But the portal, similarly, the website will be there. Madras University website will be there where you will be giving your registration, giving your details, and they will allot you the registration number. Similarly, that all this portal platform are being taken care by this goods and service tax network company. Fine. So they take care of all your technological related things. So they create and develop the website, and all the technological glitches are being addressed by this goods and service tax network company. So it is a national agency responsible for delivering the integrated indirect tax related services. All the they give information to both to the tax authorities as well as a tax registered persons. Okay, so without this company, the GSTN cannot reach the people perfectly. Okay, so they act as a person which is very very important, vital for the treatment, getting the things done. Fine. And as you are aware, like GST Council, every month there will be an council meeting will be held at each and every state, like that they will be shifting on. So usually the GST Council is headed by the finance minister, Indian finance minister, and who are all the members? All the state finance ministers are the members of the council. So every month they meet and they decide what are the important things that need to be taken, and they give accordingly. They change the rules and regulations or the rates they reduce. So if you see, GST is from 2017, the maximum number of changes in the act that has been made in GST. So there are a lot of amendments. As a country like India, large country where you cannot decide this is what needs of the people. So once it's implemented, they have been modifying it so that it will suit the needs of the people and so that the business will go on well. That is what the main reason for introducing the GST. Okay. So this has been I explained what is multi-staged and what is destination based. Okay. Fine. So these are the rates as of now in India practicing. We have some product which have 0%, some product which attract 5% GST, some product which is 12%, some product 18 and 28. See, if it is CGS within the state, it will be divided by the CGST and SGST. That is 5% means 2.5% CGST, 2.5% SGST. Similarly, 12 means 6. 18 is 9 or 28 is 14. IGST is fully collected and 50% given to that particular given to the central government, and balance will be kept in the account as a public account called escrow account. Then ultimately when the product reaches the customer and which is the buyer state, then that revenue will go to that particular buyer state. This is how a GST mechanism. So we have understood the basics necessity or the basic things about. It's all very fundamental. Whatever I have explained so far, the last half an hour which we have spent is purely to get a fundamental grip on GST. That is overview and concepts. Now let us move on for the registration. So when you have understood what is GST. So now the business person, as a business person, I want to register for GST. So what is my limit or criteria? Okay. So if my turnover is exceeding 20 lakh, till that limit, you need not register. You are not. GST is not applicable for you. Okay. So once you cross that number 20 lakh, then you are mandatorily you are supposed to register. So you have to make a person who is making a taxable supply when its turnover exceeds 20 lakh has to specifically give a thing like they will be you will be given you have to apply it to a portal. Okay, in a GST portal you can apply. And it is for the special category states like Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Manipur, Meghalaya. These are the states which I have listed. For them, it is 10 lakh. Immediately after 10 lakh, they are supposed to get registered under the GST. Okay, so these are some of the registration procedures. And okay, so like what you are supposed to do. So if you are liable to register, then you are supposed to go to a portal and there will be an available like how it is as simple as your Gmail account. When you open, what you will do, you will sign up as a new user. Similarly, you have to give a sign up and you have to provide your business details, nature of business, what is there. You have to give your address proof, your PAN number is must because GST registration is based on PAN. So as a registrar, you are supposed to do so within 30 days of time. You will be getting a reply from a department, getting either by you will be allotted a provisional GST number or they will ask you to rectify any mistakes. If the application is not complete, they may give you a message to duplicate. And for example, if you are having an interstate taxable, see, for the 20 lakh is applicable only if you are selling within a state. If you are selling outside the state also, that is if you are making an interstate sale, then even for the 1 rupee sale you are making, you are supposed to register in the GST number you must get. Okay, so if you are the interstate, if you are having a taxable supply, if you are a casual taxable person, or you are liable to pay RCM, reverse charge mechanism, and other OIDA service you are involved, then other things you are supposed to register even if you are making a 1 rupee. That is why they say no threshold exemption is applicable to the following: interstate taxable supply, casual taxable person, e-commerce operator like Flipkart, like you'll be dealing with e-commerce operator or this all the online shopping center. They are called as e-commerce operator. If you are a non-resident Indian, then you are supposed to register even for a 1 rupees, right? Then who are not liable to register? Example, if your product you are selling is completely exempt from GST, then you need not register. Exempt, wholly exempt. Probably some agricultural item, for example, any agricultural item without branding or selling. In that case, even if your turnover exceeds 20 lakh, you need not register since it is purely an exempt product, which you need not pay GST on it. Fine, right? So this is what with respect to registration. So there will be a registration required in each state from where this supply made. There is no centralized registration. As I told you, right, it always starts in the state code. So you have to say that you cannot say for the country base I am having one GST number. No. For if you want to sell in another state, then you have to get the registration number from that particular state. With the same PAN, you can have a business vertical. Like the state code alone will change. The other PAN number, because PAN is India based. PAN is all India based. Okay. But the GST registration is particular to the state. See, if you are operating in Tamil Nadu, you have to get the GST number in Tamil Nadu. And if you are having an operation in even from other states like Karnataka, others, we have some branches there, then you have to separately get registered in that particular state. If you are selling directly from Tamil Nadu to all the placement, not required. But you are having a branch office or a depot or then something there, then you are supposed to register in that particular state separately, which we call it as business vertical. Verticals in each state, multiple business. Got it? So this is what an important point which is related to registration. So now let us get into the formalities of registration. So practically, how I will register. So first I need to get GST REG01, that is a form, which has got two parts, Part A and Part B. Part A will consist of your basic details like PAN, your email and the mobile verification. And Part B will consist of the other details like nature of your business, what is the, you have to upload some of the documents which is required for the registration. Then you will get an acknowledgement form in REG02 form. Then after application, it will be verified. Okay. So any verification, so initial verification will happen within 3 working days. Any clarification, they will ask you to REG 03 form. Then after furnishing the there are many clarifications to be confirmed. Then after you furnish all the clarifications, then that within next 7 working days you will be get a form GST REG 04. Okay, that will be approved within 3 working days. The form, if clarifications are not satisfactory, they will reject your form 05. If not, if it is clarified fine means they will give you the deemed registration or the provisional registration. So there will be, it is totally only a 17-day process. Basically, 3 working days verification will happen. Within the 7 working days, you will get that clarification to be submitted to them. Once it is happened, approval will happen within 3 days. So either rejection or submission, it has to be done within 7 days. Okay. So they may do approve or they may reject. They may say also. So, but if the rejection means they should give the proper reason for the rejection. Why they have rejected the registration. Okay. So the certificate, registration certificate will be issued in GST REG 06 form. So this is the process for registration. So I told you the compulsory who are all should be made registered compulsorily, like a casual taxable person, non-resident taxable person. All these people are, irrespective of the turnover, the threshold that is the threshold limit is not applicable to these people. It is compulsory; they have to register. So we have seen a while fairly about the registration details. So after registration, what the act requires, you have to maintain a proper books of accounts and records. See, based on records only, you will be filing a GST return. So what the word says, every registered person must maintain all the records in his principal place of business. So at the time of registration itself, you are supposed to give the full address of the principal place. So where your majority of the activities are being carried out. Okay, fine. Sometimes you may also have additional place of business. Fine. So if all the records which the GST, what are the records which I will list you, but before that, these records must be maintained in the principal place, and this has to be retained by you for the minimum period of 6 years. But that is not only criteria. You have another criteria where the department has opened for any demand notice have been issued. Then you should not scrap it. You cannot say within 6 years over I have scrapped. If anything is opened, demand notice have been issued means you have to wait till that demand is cleared. Then only you can scrap. Till such time you are supposed to maintain. Okay, whether it's 6 years or that, it may even go sometimes beyond. So for the initially without any disputes, you are supposed to maintain your books of accounts. Keep it at least for the 6 years. So when anytime they may, that meaning is anytime they may ask you for the inspection, which you are supposed to provide them these records. Okay. So basically, what are the records? Who has to maintain the records? You may be a manufacturer or a service. So every registered person. That is why they say you may be a godown warehouse or the transporter, whomsoever it may be. If you are registered as GST, you must maintain a proper record. So what are the records you are supposed to maintain? All your production. See, if you are a manufacturer, all the production records. Then trader means what is my buy, purchase, inward supply, and what are the outward supply, and what are the ITC, input tax credit. That is a separate topic which will really take another 2 hours. So I'm just telling input tax credit. I just explain you the basic mechanism. What is this input tax credit? Because that is very, very vital for you to understand the input tax credit. Basically, I told you, right? I'm getting 100 rupees. The basic price of the product is 100 rupees. I am a manufacturer, I am a dealer or a wholesaler. I am paying a GST, maybe a 10 rupees on. For just to have an example sake. So my bill would be 110. So my retailer, I am selling it to a retailer. The retailer will be giving 110 and he will buy. Okay. So that 110 will be, again when you sell it to the customer, it may be 130. So here the GST portion which you are supposed to check is that what is the tax? There should not be a tax on tax. I told you about cascading effect, right? So this 110, you will not account it as 110. You will account it purchase. My purchase is 100. The 10 rupee will be credited debited to the GST account. Input GST account it will be credited. Okay, so that 10 rupee he can take and avail a credit when he sells to the customers, right? So when he sells the customer, he will again raise a bill for maybe I'm telling 120 he's raising a bill for that he's supposed to pay the 12 rupees GST. So he will raise a bill for 12 rupees GST he will charge, but when he pays, he can claim the credit of the payment. When he make a purchase, you would have paid the GST, right? That GST can be taken, availed by him as an input tax credit. So 12 minus 10, only 2 rupees will be deposited by him to the government. So this is what input tax credit mechanism was. So that only ensures there is no cascading effect on the tax effect on the GST, right? Then, and you have to confirm that what is my output tax payable, and you have to maintain a proper list of stocks and other particulars. How it has to be maintained? It may be in physical or electronic form. Either you can have a manual records or it may be in a system generated Excel or whatever the accounting softwares. So this is what basic records with respect to accounts and records. Okay, I'm not getting into a full depth of GSTs, but I'm just giving you the returns. Now, after records, since I have done. Okay, I'm maintaining. Say I am a registered person. I have maintaining a proper accounts and records. Now, and I have paid tax also. Okay. Now, how I will declare prove that to the government that I have paid? For that only you have got the return. So how you will, this is only an intimation to the government that so much of supply I have made during the year, for which I have paid this much of tax. That is called as a return. So in the form of return, you are supposed to intimate that to the government. Okay. So we have returns, which is we have there are major returns, but only these three are the very most used. So there are so many other returns, which is not that, it is used rarely, but these are the things which everybody must. Okay. The first return is GSTR 1, Goods and Service Tax Return 1. So this return purely gives your outward supply. Outward supply is how much sale you have made during the particular month. So mostly monthly or it may be sometimes quarterly also. Okay. That if your turnover exceeds 5 crore, you must do it monthly. Otherwise, you can do it quarterly. If your turnover is less than 5 crores, you can file a quarterly return also. Okay, so by monthly you have to give the outward supply, which has to be submitted in the immediate the next month. So you have to give details. What are my sale details? That you have to bifurcate. What is my B2B? Have you heard of what is B2B, B2C? Maybe
Business to
yeah,
government.
very good, fine. So if you are selling to the other registered person, then it is B2B sale. Or if you are selling to a customer, a retail customer who's using the product, it is called as B2C. So you have to bifurcate and show that in the return. And any rejections, debit notes, credit notes which I have raised, all this summary. So it is GSTR 1 is complete summary of your sale. So that has to be done in before the 11th of the next month. For example, this is the November 30. So for the November month sale, whatever happened, we will be declaring in GSTR 1 before December 11. Understood? So like that every month. If it is a quarter, means after December, that quarter is completion, then you will be declaring. For the quarterly return, there are different forms also. Okay. Then GSTR 3B. So that 3B is the summary of your return. So this one is only declaration, whereas in 3, before submitting the 3B, you are supposed to pay the tax liability also. For example, whatever the tax you have got, that will be declared in 1. So now 3B will tell you how much is the tax payable and how much is the ITC credit you have got. So once every seller